Hey guys, Vena here. Today is Sunday, March the 30th. Um, and I'm getting ready to ask you guys, how's everybody doing? But I already have a good idea. But I wanted to say this. Someone had said to me, I should make this channel called Venus Spiritual Talks. I like that. I really do. I also like, I thought of Venus Spiritual Lounge. What do you guys think? Anyway, thanks for that suggestion. I don't know how that would work in changing the channel name. And will people still reach it automatically? I have to look into that. Um, but so many of you are so knowledgeable on this kind of stuff. I'm sure you'll let me know. So I appreciate that. But anyway, thanks for that. So I know that so many people have said to me that they are feeling so overwhelmed right now, so exhausted mentally, so discombobulated emotionally. And I want you to know that this period of time has been it's attributable to a lot of the energies that are going on with these planets. Okay, so let me just tell you this: we all know that Mercury's retrograde, right? And Mercury deals with um, your conscious mind, your thinking, right? um, and it has retrograded back into Pisces. Okay, Pisces is the sign of, it's a watery sign, it's an emotional sign. There's no barriers, there's no limits. Okay, not only that, we still have Venus retrograde. So combine those two. Venus also deals with emotions, not as much as the moon does, but it also deals with the emotions. um, so combine those two, then we have a quite a combination of um, planets in the house of Pisces right now. Okay, like I said, Pisces has no limits. It's a watery. It is. It can be overwhelming emotionally. Um, so, thus the reason that many of you are feeling like that, especially if you have placements that are either in water signs and especially Pisces, okay? I myself have my moon in Pisces. This is something I feel almost all the time. um, so, the best way to deal with it right now, since there are no limits on water, you cannot hold water, right? So, allow yourself to feel um, what this energy is trying to bring you. Sort of swim in it, okay? Emotionally, mentally, okay? Instead of trying to fight it, the overwhelmment comes when you try to put up your own natural mental barriers, right? That's where you feel the the frustration and the overwhelming, because that water is going to come over your barriers. It's just going to lap right over. Okay, it's sort of like, watching a huge wave come in. That wave is going to come, no matter what you put up, right? So allow yourself to ride that wave. Okay, um, and in doing so, it will reveal a lot of things to you. That's the purpose of the Piscean energy. Piscean energy deals with all things subconscious, all things behind the scenes, right? And it is also a very deep connect to the divine. Okay? So if you allow yourself to kind of go with that flow, ride that wave, ride that current, ride that current in, okay? You will get to swim with the fishies and see a lot of things that you normally don't see. Like I said, the frustration, the exhaustion, etc., comes when you want to put up those barriers. Some people are not used to um, a, shall we say, a influx of emotional energy. They're not used to it. Um, and so to be presented with this, all this emotional current, right, can feel overwhelming. So ride the wave, allow yourself to kind of swim through the current, okay? And see what it's revealing individually for you. It's going to reveal different things for different people, all right? But just allow it to unfold and see what it's bringing up for you. The planetary energies, no matter what they are, okay, always are revelations, are always bringing something good to us. It's just how we interpret them. Even Mercury retrogrades, as effed up as they can be, in screwing things up, they also fix things. They can fix things. Excuse me. So, um, I hope this helps those people that feel like, ugh, I'm drowning. No, you're not drowning. You're just being faced with things that you're normally not used to experiencing. Okay? And so it does feel petrifying, and it can feel very overwhelming. But there's things that you may need to see and experience and feel that you're not used to. So allow yourself to feel them, and you'd be amazed at how freeing it can be. All right? So I didn't want to really start off on such a serious note, but um, it was so many people that said that they're feeling this that I just wanted to not forget about it and not mention it. Okay. Um, I wanted to also point out several people noticed orbs in my very last video that I did. Um, one at the 9:50 mark and another one at the 24 something mark, 24-minute mark. They were right in front of me. That happens quite a bit. Um, they do dip in quite a bit. They're around, and I'm not surprised. Although this is my time, you guys can have your own time. Anyway, um, the earthquake in Myanmar, Thailand, and the southern part of China, that was a super powerful earthquake. Once again, the like I said, there is a pile up of planets in Pisces. Pisces is water. Okay? Water, excuse me. That country experienced not only an earthquake, but several issues with water um, in the surrounding in the outer parts of that country and off of southern China. Um, and but anyway, Uranus has a lot to do with out of the blue, shocking events, and that was definitely out of the blue. Very strong earthquake. Um, Send your love to them in that it may ease whatever they're dealing with, whatever they're going through, that aid comes in quicker, um, that these people find, you know, help with, habitation quicker. That's how, when you send love, that's how it can work and that's how it can help. Um, it's just a devastating scene, and I don't even want to watch any more of it. Um, it really affected me very deeply. Um, but I too have just been sending love and knowing that these people will realize the love that's there for them, and um, their needs will be met in the quickest and best way possible. I gotta say that several countries have already stepped up for them, so that's a good thing. Even the United States, shocking, because under this administration, they don't even want to help their own residents. So to hear that they've offered aid to them was nice to hear, and I'll say good when it does occur. Um, some good news. So at my last video, I talked about a Dem winning in the House race. So the House gets to keep their majority. Um, Democrats get to keep the majority. But after my video, the results came in for the Senate race, the Pennsylvania Senate race. A Democrat also won that. Also, first time since the 1880s, I think it was 1889, that a Democrat flipped that seat. I am from Pennsylvania. I know that area. It's extremely red. The fact that they went blue says a lot. But I told you guys that people will be turning against Republicans um, big time. And this is just the beginning of that. Like, it's just going to happen more and more, not only in races, but just in, you're going to see politicians turning against their own, speaking out against their own. And something else I want to say is reporters and the news media are going to start bucking this admin. Mark my words, even Fox, they're going to start bucking this admin, this administration. Um, and they're going to be quite courageous in doing so. And they're not going to care about getting sued, and they're going to fight back. And just watch for that. It's going to happen more and more. I've already told you guys about the protests. I told you guys about that months ago, about protests just picking up more and more and more. And we are seeing that they had 50 state protests yesterday against Tesla, EM, and Don the Con. Oh my goodness, it was a beautiful, glorious sight to just witness all these people showing up for these protests. Um, and they're not playing. Like they're not playing. And this is going to increase and increase now. There is a big protest coming up, protest march coming up on April 5th. When I heard about it, I got a good feeling. A wave of good energy hit me. Now, excuse me. This protest is going to be happening in Washington. I am not saying that nothing bad may not happen, But overall, I got a wonderful, good feeling about this protest. So the positive results of it, we are going to feel somehow, some way. It is going to produce some really, really good stuff. Okay. Um, and typically when I get that kind of good feeling, it's a karmic destined type event. So I am very excited to see the outcome of this April 5th march. Um, it should be very, very interesting. Um, okay, I told you guys about Musk sort of getting like disinterested, bored with being in the government, leaving. He announced on Thursday that he will be leaving Doge at the end of April, which coincides with the fact that I told you by the end of April, this administration will just be different. It will just have a different look and a different feel. He's now whether he keeps his word or not, we'll see. But he did make the announcement. I don't think it matters if he keeps his word or not because I've told you before. I said back in I think it was October. He's very sick. We all found out that he is sick, but I also see him physically ill. So we'll see what happens with that. Um, but it's amazing to me how um, divine love works because who would have thought that so many people would be protesting with not buying the Teslas, taking Tesla down. It has become like a taboo to even own a Tesla, buy a Tesla, talk about Tesla, etc. Who would have thought that's one of the ways that resistance would happen? Another thing I want to mention is my video I did about Bernie Sanders and the fact that he was never meant to be president, but he is now fulfilling truly what he loves to do, wants to do. He is in front of thousands of people across the country putting out his agenda or an agenda for Americans. Um, him and AOC, I applaud both of them for doing this. They are fulfilling a divine plan. He is fulfilling his divine plan, his path. This was what he was meant to do. However long it lasts for him, he is so happy and so at home doing this. He is fulfilling his life path. So good for him. Good for AOC. Um, I love this for them. I truly do. Um, and watch him. Just take a moment to watch how happy and fulfilled he seems to be. He's in his element. So go, you guys. Good for you. I am beyond thrilled for both of you and for the thousands of people that are the benefit of hearing a champion speak for them. Um, and this is whether you like Bernie or like AOC or not. You have to admit that um, they do represent people. Your average, everyday Vena, and everyone else out there. Okay? Um, and I would like to say I appreciate it. I truly appreciate you. So, double pats on the back for both of them. And Jasmine Crockett is um, I'll just say this. She is very protected. She is the woman is literally divine. Um, she is, she has integrity, high integrity. And there's a lot more good I could say about her, but I'm going to refrain from doing that. But I will say this. Um, she's one of a kind. And my admiration for her is off the charts. Her integrity, her honesty, her deep. That woman has one mission in life, and that is to give an F. She gives up. Okay, and she does it with passion, with true soul, and with the highest integrity. Um, she is one of the people I very admire in this lifetime. Um, I would love to meet her one day, but if I don't, um, I just want her to know that she is liked and appreciated by many. She is the voice also of many people. Um, so, Jasmine, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you from many of us. Many of us. Um, okay, let's see. Now, I had made a prediction about they kept giving me um, three deaths, two political deaths, one not necessarily political, but they were major deaths. And I got the date 16th through the 29th. Okay. Obviously, I misinterpreted the dates wrong. Um, I have no problem saying that, but I still see those deaths, and they're going to be grouped together. They're going to be close together. They're going to be very significant. So I just still see them happening. Although the one death that did occur, Jessica Alba, is very significant, and we will find out why within a few months. By probably September, we're going to find out why her death is extremely significant. But, and excuse my throat, I have this allergy kind of thing going on, and it's just I don't want to get too ugh. But but anyway, I obviously got the dates wrong and misinterpreted the dates. The dates, a lot did happen from the 16th to the 29th. Um, Signal Gate or Whiskey Gate being one of them. But as far as the three deaths, that was no, they didn't happen then. But I'm still keeping those out there, and they're coming. So I'm not withdrawing that at all. Just I got the dates wrong. Um, okay, so uh, we have some wonderful questions that I want to get to really quick. Um, and let's start with, of course, I can't find it always when I want to. Ugh. Okay, I had mentioned that there was a person behind running the show behind Don Khan. He's not running the show. He has zero interest. He is literally a puppet. There is a main guy, but there's also several others behind him. There's three main people behind him and one really main one. Several people said, asked, was Steve Witkoff. Look him up. Yes, he's one of them. Yes, he is. This was the guy who was actually physically in Russia during Signalgate or Whiskey Gate. Okay, he is one of them. But there's a few others. Okay, so to answer that question, yes, you were correct. Uh, okay, someone said, we all make a soul contract to come here. Most of us struggle to figure out what the purpose is. When someone has an NDE, while they are on the other side, do they get more information on why they are here? And do they bring that knowledge back here with them? So, to those who have read my book, especially my first book where I describe my entire near death experience, okay, um, the veil was put over my true purpose here. I was shown that I did have a purpose to fulfill, but I was not shown any specifics about it. That's me personally. Um, some do. I don't watch many near death experiencers stories. And one of the reasons is because let's just say some of the stories, it conflicts with what I saw. Some of the ones that I have watched were very conflicting with what I saw, and it I just can't resonate with some of them. So, but from some of the ones that I saw, some do are shown have been shown a purpose, but some haven't. I was not shown um, my specific purpose. I've had to let it unfold like everyone else does, and naturally. And I was given no specifics, no cheat sheets, no information, but behind so I there was a veil put up, and it was like I couldn't pass through my purpose. However, what did bleed through was that I did have a purpose, and it was very important that there were several things that I needed to accomplish, and that it was very important that I do them. Um, and I will tell you, one of them involves my grandchildren. One of them involves my grandchildren that I've come to understand. Um, my stepchildren and my grandchildren. Um, Also, I truly believe that it is putting out the information on how simple the spiritual world is, how simple our connect is to the spiritual world, how we are not disconnected from the spiritual world. I think that's another purpose that I was here for. But to answer this person's question, it will unfold organically. Sometimes you are in the middle of your purpose and don't even realize it. Sometimes your simple actions in life are that purpose, that fulfilling of your contract. And you don't, you like I've said this in several videos. A lot of people think that they're here to do great, huge, big, humongous things, and no, not always. Not all of us are going to be famous, or super rich, or given the cure for cancer, or etc. Sometimes it's to help loved ones in our life, or to be in charge at work, and be a good boss and show empathy and compassion. And sometimes it's just those simple things. So simple it would amaze you. But they're not simple in importance. So it will unfold organically for you. Don't worry about not fulfilling it. You will be guided through impulses from your spirit and from your guide that will be unmistakable. Like you may be the bridge to family members that are having a hard time. You may help someone that no one else would have helped. Okay, so I could go on and on and on and on, but sometimes it's the most simple things that define our true purpose in life. Okay? So don't worry about oh my gosh, I'm not fulfilling it. Just live. Just live. That was one of the main messages my guide gave me at the end. And if you read my first book, you know that was one of the most important things. They said, just live. Just live. Live. So I hope that helps answer that question. Let's see. Okay, another thing. Several people, I don't know, this must be a collective thing, but several people asked about their life reviews, and they're petrified of their life reviews when they do finally exit from here. Let me just say that you do not have to be petrified. So, your life review, okay, yes, you will experience things in sharp, vivid detail, good and bad, of how you lived your life. However, you will also be given the understanding of why you acted the way you did and why others received it the way they did. You will get the full picture, right? So, say for instance you went to the store and you just cuss someone out for apparently no reason, right? And you came back and you just felt horrible about it. And there is no absolute way for you to make it up to that person because you'll never see them again, right? So in your life review, you will see how you treated that person, how they felt about it, but you will also see the underlying reason why you did that. And there could be tendrils to many other factors that were involved in that. And you will have an understanding of that. And you will also be shown that you can fix that. And you may be able to fix it on the other side. You may be able to fix it there, or in more major type of issues, you will be able to resolve your those issues in a upcoming planned life. But either way, okay, yes, you will feel the feelings of others and how you made them feel, etc. Okay, but you will also have the understanding of the situation and also be given the opportunity to resolve it. Because, like I've told you many times, the universe is never cruel. And the universe is a complete circle. All things will balance, and it will give you the opportunity to balance those things, to resolve those things. Okay? So please don't fear your life review. And yes, some people ask, can I make up for things that I've done? In many cases, yes, you can do that before you're gone from here. You can always resolve some karma, uh, while you are here. You can work on things, and you can fix certain inherent qualities you may have that keep perpetuating certain karma for yourself. Absolutely, it takes deep work, but you can do it. You can definitely do it. All right, so no need to fear your life review. Seriously. Uh, Someone asked about Miss Venia. Can you talk about Trump trying to bring back segregation? Do you see this coming to pass? um, when I saw that what he basically did was he allowed for the federal government to they don't have to abide by uh, segregation laws anymore. That's just for the federal government. Okay, so basically, if they wanted to segregate in certain contracts, etc., they could. Okay, but like I said, that's just for in dealing with the federal government. Now, here's the thing. Um, the super quick answer is absolutely not. That is not even in the mix for the upcoming vibe of this country. Okay, it's just no one is going to want to touch it in an overt way. Okay, especially private companies. Their bottom line is money, and there are too many people of color now that have money that can affect their bottom line. So, but also it is just not in the energies of what's coming up in the United States. Okay, you're still going to always have people who are racist, but even those two are going to kind of realize that that's not good for anyone. That is not good for anyone. It always amazes me to come across a racist who doesn't realize that 8 times out of 10, those who hate on specific races will typically come back as one of those type of race colors that they hate so much. Um, Choose to be a person of color. You know, um, I'm going to tell you a very interesting sort of divine fact. Do you ever see these people? And there's a lot of them that we kind of saw in this last election. You see the blacks for Trumps, the Latinos for Trump, um, the whomever people of color for Trump. And they're like the super staunch, um, you know, supporters of Trump, right? And it just defies logic. These people, a lot of them were racist in a previous life. They came back as a person of color to correct that, and instead they still didn't get it right. And so they're still vibrating to that racism that they had. And it'll probably take a few more cycles until they're out of it. But that is one of the reasons why you see these die-hard people of color that are supporters of the whole MAGA movement and the racism. They don't see it as such because they are still vibrating to or connecting to, resonating to a previous life as one of those racists. And so even though their physical mask here is as a person of color, their inner spirit is still resonating to that racism. Okay, so they haven't corrected that what they came here to do. And like I said, it'll probably take a few more cycles before they do, you know. And so those people are really beyond, you can't reach them because inwardly there's something pulling them to what they were before. Okay? And it's very deep with them. Okay, so a lot of them you just can't reach. Don't even try. Okay? You just can't reach them. But no, it's just not going to happen in a overall sense in the United States. No. And I think the very last question I wanted to talk about, what are your thoughts on exorcism? Is it possible to get possessed by evil? Yes, it is on this level, not in the spiritual realm, no, but in this human level, yes, you can. So in other words, we all know, or most of you are aware, that this physical shell, body, whatever you want to call it, is inhabited by a spiritual form, right? Your spiritual self, okay? So when there is a close connect with your spiritual self, when you are connected, okay, I wish I had one of my great visible props to show you. Okay, you know what? We'll use this. We'll use this tree here. Okay, so here's your spirit, right? The base of this is your spiritual form. And this is the offshoot of your spirit, right? So, if you have not a good connect with your spirit, if love is not your number one priority of this Vena, this form here, if my number one priority is not is not connected, um, my desire for divine love is not the most important thing to me, okay? You create basically a sort of disconnect with your spiritual form, right? And in that case, yes, you can be possessed by other spirits, and even evil, okay? And um, the more that you, say, for instance, give in to evil thoughts or um, ignore your spiritual form, okay, the more sort of a withdrawal it does from you, okay? So you can, at that point, um, be possessed by other spirits in throughout the realms that are closer to the human realm, the physical realm, okay? However, if your deepest desire is to be good, is goodness, is divine love, then guess what? You have created what I love the term a bubble of protection around you that cannot be touched, it cannot be penetrated, because your connection to this, your spiritual form, your spiritual self is strong, okay? And you cannot, spells don't work, possession doesn't work. It's just like the bubble wrap. I do have bubble wrap in the other room, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like you're cocooned by bubble wrap, okay? Cannot touch you, cannot affect you. I remember a friend of mine and I were coming. We were driving on the highway, and this truck kept getting up beside us, and kept trying to say things. And so she rolled down the window. I was driving. She rolled down the passenger side window because she thought they were trying to tell us something important, like maybe your tire's going flat or something. And they called us very derogatory names, extremely, like, nasty, nasty names, okay? As soon as they were finished calling us those names, the truck sort of passed us a little bit, and it had a trailer on the back. One of those, portable trailers you can haul around little items like a lawnmower or something. The trailer came up, clanked off, swerved their truck, but not in front of my car, onto the side of the road. And it's truly screwed them up. It crashed up against the wall because they were on the right-hand side of me, and then there was the rock wall. Crashed up against the wall. The truck went over there. And I had enough time to drive by, and we both drove by, and we sort of gave them little hand signals like, ah. That was like an instant karma type of thing for them. That's what the bubble of protection does. It's just certain things will just never touch you. Can't touch you. Okay? So, it's called spiritual integrity. I always talk about it. Spiritual integrity, your desire for the divine as the utmost important thing, automatically puts that protection, that bubble around you. And you cannot be possessed, touched by evil, etc. Okay? So if you don't have it yet, because it's not easy. It's something to work on. Okay? And it takes true self-honesty. It's not something that I can look at you and say, oh yeah, sure, I love divine love more than anything, or whatever. No, it has to be true, solid, and real. You cannot fool spirit. You can fool yourself, you can fool others. You cannot fool spirit. Okay? And I love that question, by the way. It's such a good question. Um, so, people, my last final thought is just keep weaving love somehow into the fabric of your life. Every opportunity you can. Doesn't make you religious nut. It doesn't make you a Puritan. It doesn't make you none of that stuff that people use to, um, you know, front like they're so this or so that. And no, just weave love the best way you know how into your life continuously and watch it just work beautiful magic into your life. Every opportunity that you can, reach for the divine. It's so simple. It is so simple. And that is why we think it's so hard to do, because it's so simple. All right. So I've talked so long. Oh my goodness. Um, take care. I'll be back on soon, hopefully. And thanks for all your wonderful comments and informing me of things. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I'm trying to get my voice back. It'll get there. But take care, everyone. And love to you all. Love to you all. All right?